Hey Cougars, the most important thing in my classroom is for me to provide a safe space for my students to learn about metalworking. And that means a safe space and people being comfortable and confident and feel free to be themselves, not suffer any sort of put downs. But another instance is really with personal protective equipment. I think about PPE as protecting our senses, right? The senses are how we understand the world around us. And let me tell you, it's important to keep your hearing, your vision, your taste, your hearing, your sense of smell, and your sense of touch intact, because it's the way we know the world. So when I talk about PPE, I'm thinking about using the appropriate equipment for the materials we're using and the procedures we're using. I've got a lot of different face shields out here, and they're for different purposes, right? The basics, a pair of safety glasses. I wear glasses, so I'm wearing safety glasses every day. These are ANSI approved glasses. That is, they're approved to stop flying objects and liquids at certain speeds and temperatures. We have a whole closet full of safety glasses, which I encourage students just to wear when they're in the shop. We've also got face shields. You've seen me use the chop saws, and my glasses are protective glasses, but there's a lot of open space over here. So when I'm using the chop saws, I'm always going to wear a face shield. We've got another face shield over here that has the number 6 tinted green, the green screen. And this is when I'm working at the forge. Looking in that forge, it's giving off a lot of ultraviolet rays. So this is a shade number 6. Gas welding goggles. These are shade 8 to 10, right? So this is a darker eye shield. And then our welding helmets that are adjustable up to shade 13, right? So you want to protect your eyes using the appropriate eyewear for the procedure you're doing. Arc welding, gas welding, forge, cutting, and pretty much everything. The next sense we really need to think about is hearing, right? Metal shop is noisy. Right now I've got the forge running behind me, and there's a constant hum in here. So my preferred ear protection is a foam ear protection. They're not disposable because you can wash them. I just keep mine in my pant pocket, and when I wash my pants, I come up with a clean pair of ear protection every time. These cost about 60 cents each. So everybody can get them, but it is money. So I'm going to roll them up and then tuck them in my ear. It deadens the sound, but you can still communicate. We also have earmuff protection, which is it works really well. However, it doesn't work well with the face shield, right? So it doesn't work well with the welding helmet. So my go-to is the foam ear protection. The next thing we're going to talk about is our sense of touch, right? And that is our skin. In here, it's a good idea to wear gloves. The metal often has grease on it so it doesn't rust. You can have sharp edges. Depends what you're doing. If you're carrying metal, sorting metal, measuring, cutting, a pair of work gloves is great. My preferred pair of gloves is a pair of TIG welding gloves. These are goat skin. They're supple and thin. They're made out of leather, and they've got the long gauntlet. But they're not great for handling hot metal because they're so thin. They're good for setup. They're good for arc welding. But don't go picking up a piece of arc with a glove like this. It's too thin. You're going to get burned. The classic arc welding glove is this gauntlet glove. It's a 1/4 inch thick. It's rawhide on the outside, and it's insulated on the inside. These were donated this year, and they're nice and supple. They can still move. But as these gloves get burned up, as we handle hot metal with them, the fingers will become very stiff. So try not to pick up hot metal with these. They can handle it, but you're going to burn up the glove. Last pair of gloves, and it's sort of like I always feel like Mickey Mouse when I put these gloves on because it's something like that. But these are Kevlar gloves that are really heat resistant, and they're for working at the forge. When you're using those tongs to pull out a piece of annealed copper, or when you're using the hammers, one thing I would say, I'll keep a glove on my hand that I use the tongs but I do not use a glove on my hammer hand. All that friction, you'll get a blister. The other way we're going to protect our skin is with appropriate welding gear. Right? I've got more than 10, about 20 different welding jackets. These are all made out of cotton, and they've been treated with flame retardant materials. So these guys are good. We have to share them, but I promise you, I wash them about every month. I know a lot of people sometimes forget to wear long pants, so I have a number of these jumpsuits generously donated by my close friend Ari Agapekian, master mechanic, auto restorer. So we've got lots of different jumpsuits in different sizes. I think I've got a size for everybody I've got in class. Lastly, you saw when we were pouring molten metal today, we were wearing a leather apron. This is just giving us an additional protection. The cotton is not going to flash. It's not going to be hit with something and then burst into flames, but it will burn, right? A leather apron, when you're working at the forge, when you're working with molten metal, leather apron's the way to go. The last sense we're going to talk about is our sense of smell and our sense of taste. And the number one thing we're going to use in here to protect our lungs and our mouths and noses are going to be the fans. We've got fans in all the welding booths. We've got 2 different fans at the MIG station. We've got a fan in the spray paint room. We've got a fan over the forge. I do have dust masks, a whole different series of dust masks. Maybe if you're doing some grinding that's producing a lot of dust, maybe cleaning rust off of something, wearing a dust mask is the way to go. In terms of our sense of taste, at the end of the day in the shop, you got to wash your hands well, right? All this material is industrial material. It's treated with different chemicals for different reasons, and that, intentional or not, gets on our hands. We really want to wash up well at the end of class, especially before we consume any food. Stay safe, Cougars, all right?